Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Is it good? Yeah. In the Great Circle, you play as Indy. Someone from the Vatican steals an artifact from the college where he works, so off he ventures around the world to see why it was stolen and what the thieves are up to. Gameplay wise, it's pretty much a stealth game. I played the game on hard, but initially started on the setting just below. Unfortunately, the enemies were so stupid that it wasn't fun. I could beat people up right in front of them and they would act like nothing was happening. Hard, on the other hand, was far more realistic and posed more of a challenge. Combat feels amazing. Indy can pick up so many items from shovels, pots, pans and so on. These can all be used to take down enemies. Indy can also brawl. This was personally my favourite as you can block, counter and dodge incoming attacks. Punches felt weighty and it was so satisfying to beat enemies up with hand-to-hand combat. I loved the slapstick moments when I would finish an enemy. They'll often stumble around as if drunk before falling down comically. This never got old. There is gun combat. They're not used often, which is a good thing as the gunplay didn't feel very good. It was reminiscent of older shooting games from the early noughties, but I couldn't care less as I loved using hands and pans to take down my enemies. Also, in my playthrough, I didn't want Indy to be a serial killer like other archaeologists in games where you raid tombs in uncharted areas. You can upgrade Indy by finding books within levels. These will give you anything from extra damage to new takedown techniques. While not essential, they were nice to give a sense of progression throughout the game. For the most part, the game is a first-person game, but it does pull out to third person while climbing or swinging using Indy's whip. This was a good feature as it gave lots of control of where I wanted to climb or swing. The game has a few open area levels which were huge and expansive. There was lots to find, but the best part was the game has lots of side quests. I felt utterly compelled to complete them all as they felt so integral to the main story. So much so that I'm not sure how someone will be able to keep up with the story if they just played the main quests. Some characters are first introduced during side quests that, if not played, would just show up with zero explanation. The game is full of puzzles. I played on the difficulty that gives no hints. They were all good, but all of them bar one only took me a couple minutes to solve, and that's coming from someone who doesn't think they're very good at puzzles. The graphics are drop dead gorgeous, and this might be the best looking game I've ever played. Everything is so detailed and amazing to look at. The cherry on top is the frame rate, which is a very smooth 60 frames per second. Unfortunately, for some reason characters in the distance were often at what looked like a sub 30 frames per second, which was a shame and let the game down slightly. I've also got to mention the lighting. This was incredible. Dark areas were actually dark and required the use of a torch, and the shadows that were cast were really impressive. To accompany the state-of-the-art graphics, this game has the best spatial audio I've heard on an Xbox game to date. I could easily pinpoint exactly where enemies were, which was great for sneaking around. Even the soundscapes of the different locations were incredible. I found myself often stopping what I was doing just to take it in. Truly amazing. Speaking of audio, Troy Baker plays Indiana Jones, and I'd say during times when he's shouting, angry, or in any type of distress, he sounds exactly like Harrison Ford. But during quieter times, when Indy is talking softly, you can tell it's Troy Baker. But this is fine, as he did a great job. The soundtrack was perfect. It often teased the legendary main theme throughout, but fans will get a kick out of it when it does hit at certain points during the game. That was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and I give it a 9 out of 10.